Oh, it's another day here at the Comeback Team Studios. I know it's been a while. I've been on the road. I'm exhausted. Newark Airport in the New York City area is a complete disaster. I'll tell you about my experience. Breaking news, World War III might have just started. Pakistan and India, two nuclear powers that hate each other. India's just struck Pakistan. There's a lot going on. There's a savior out there. A man claiming to be the successor of Muhammad and Jesus. No, he's not. There's so much going on. We live in such interesting times. Who needs to read books about fantasy when the world that we live in is so much more crazy than any book you could read? Make sure you smash that subscribe button. We're moving up the ranks. We're getting millions and millions of views across various platforms, and it's thanks to all of you. So if you're listening on Spotify or watching on Spotify or YouTube or anywhere podcasts are received to listen, I thank you. If you want someone to do all the work, that's my job. Now, I've been on the road, and I'm about to go on the road again. I was supposed to be back in New York on Sunday. I never made it. I was supposed to fly out of Fort Lauderdale Airport into Newark Airport. Now, Newark, N-E-W-A-R-K, is 10 miles from New York City. There's a massive airport there that has thousands of flights. It's a very busy airport on the Eastern Seaboard, one of the most busiest in the world. And it's having chaos, okay? Chaos. My flight into Fort Lauderdale last week was delayed by 6 hours. I didn't get to Fort Lauderdale, Florida until 2 o'clock in the morning. I was supposed to be there by 9 o'clock at night. On the way back, they sent us an alert telling us that our flight was delayed until 7:30 p.m. So I thought that was nice that they gave us a heads up so I didn't have to wait around in the airport for 5-6 hours. I was supposed to leave at 2:30. And then they just shoot a text saying your flight is boarding now at 4 o'clock. I was like, well, how does that work? How do you send a message telling me the flight's not going to take off to 7:30, and then you pull the rug out from under me and the plane takes off, and I couldn't make it there on time because I thought I had the whole day to get to the airport. The freaked up part is that I have to go to Newark Airport again. I got no choice. I tried to change the flights. I can't do it. I have 5 people flying out with me, flying into Las Vegas, and then on my way to LA. And there's nothing I can do about it. There's like nothing I can do about it. So I'm probably going to go through hell again. But at least this time I've learned to just wait in the terminal till the flight takes off. So I'll be in Vegas on Thursday, LA on Monday, God willing. On to breaking news. Has World War III started? You know, Pakistan has had a very volatile situation with the arrest of their former prime minister. There was protest going on. And, you know, if you remember some of the images from the last couple of years, there was massive protest. The former prime minister, Imran Khan, was arrested. He was backed by millions of people in Pakistan. They arrested him, threw him in jail. He's standing in trial. And there was all that chaos. Now, interesting facts about Pakistan. It is the only Muslim country in the world with nuclear weapons. I don't find it to be a coincidence that the powers that be would want to destabilize Pakistan. They would, in effective, probably want to put someone in power that they could control. Therefore, there would not be any Muslim country with a nuclear weapon to balance the scales of power. India and Pakistan are mortal enemies. The Hindus hate the Muslims and vice versa. Mahatma Gandhi tried to bring peace to all these people, but unfortunately he was taken out by a Hindu extremist. The Prime Minister of India, Modi, doesn't seem to be a fan of Muslims. He knocked down a mosque that was there and rebuilt an ancient Hindu temple, and that created a lot of chaos and hatred. And the two religions couldn't be further apart. Hindus believe in hundreds and hundreds of gods. Islam is monotheistic. The Hindus don't eat really. Some of them might eat chicken, but the vast majority are vegan. The Muslims eat beef, chicken, and lamb. And there's just really bad blood between all of them. Now, there was a terrorist attack in a disputed area of Kashmir, which has been having violence forever between Pakistan and India. And there was a terrorist attack on some tourists that were visiting, and then India decided to retaliate, even though Pakistan warned them, if you hit us, we're cooperating, we'll help you with the investigation, we had nothing to do with this, we condemned the attack, and India still decided to hit Pakistan. Now, India is also a very strong ally of Israel. Very, very close ally. They are rooting for Israel to wipe out the Palestinians. Like, they can't wait for them to wipe them out. They love Israel. It's also a great distraction from what's going on over there, because pretty much Bibi's made it very clear that they're just going to occupy Gaza and have a nice day. There's some food shortages out there. This is all based on their media. Again, I'm just giving you all the stories compiled. And could this lead to World War III? Iran is trying to go and mediate between India and Pakistan. So far, 8 people have been taken out, including a child. This is reported by the Associated Press. India fired missiles into Pakistan-controlled territory in several locations early Wednesday, killing at least 8 people, including a child in Pakistan. Okay. Tensions have soared between the nuclear-armed neighbors since last month's massacre of tourists in the Indian-controlled portion of Kashmir. India has blamed Pakistan for backing the militant attack, which Islamabad has denied. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif condemned Wednesday's airstrikes and said the deceitful enemy has carried out cowardly attacks and that his country will retaliate. Now, we've been in this situation before between Iran and Israel. We're going to strike back and this and that, and the powers that be kind of get involved, and then they put on a show. If I had to guess, I don't think it'll escalate too much more unless the Western powers want full de-escalation. You definitely know the military complex definitely wants there to be a war there. In any event, who would it benefit if these two countries went to war? It definitely wouldn't benefit these two countries. I can tell you that right now. Do I think it'll go full nuclear? I really don't hope so. Can't rule it out completely. However, we're living in a very crazy and volatile time. And who knows what could happen. Trump's made comments saying that he hopes that this ends very quickly. And Pakistan says 5 Indians' planes have been downed. Hospitals on alert and schools closed in Pakistan's Punjab province. 3 civilians in Indian-administered Kashmir were killed by Pakistani cross-border shelling, Indian Army says. So it's starting to escalate, and I hope the powers that be can get involved here quickly before this thing gets just out of control. Pakistan is the only Muslim country which declared nuclear weapons, while other Muslim countries such as Saudi Arabia and Iran have nuclear programs or are involved in nuclear technologies. They do not possess declared nuclear weapons. A story that's been kind of covering the spiritual world is the appearance of this self-proclaimed Mahdi guy who was a documentary maker, by the way, and he made a documentary that was very popular in the Muslim world in the early 2000s. It was called The Arrivals. It's basically a documentary series about the global elites that run the world and that the Antichrist is coming very soon. Most people would never thought that this guy would actually be one of those people who pretty much, in my opinion, is an imposter, claiming to be from the divine, claiming to be from Jesus Christ, claiming to be the successor of Muhammad. Peace and blessings upon those prophets. His followers, which is very interesting, I posted this on my Instagram stories. His followers are all women. When we study the hadith of the Antichrist, one of the signs is that the Antichrist will be followed by women first. When we look at videos of this Imam Mahdi guy, okay, Hasham as he's known, it's very interesting. This is his channel, The Mahdi Has Appeared. Okay? And this guy, in my opinion, is a massive distraction to create disunity between the religious groups and specifically the Muslims. This guy, in my opinion, has harmful intent. And I pray that people can see that this dude is not what he claims to be. And I think many people are, because the YouTube and all the back channels are afire speaking about this guy. And some of the scholars are coming forward now and publicly condemning him Here's one of them.
Discuss the Misguided YouTube channel. The Mahdi has appeared. Mahdi can be a description of somebody, right? Guided. So if you're guided, show us the proof of your guidance. The first proof of your guidance is you don't call people to yourself. The rajulun majnoon. No, the guy's a joke. If the Mahdi has appeared, then can he please do Mahdi-like things, such as maybe defeat some enemies, right? Make an army. Do Mahdi-like things. What the Prophet has described.
True.
Okay, so this is some kind of Satanism mingled with who knows what. It's a psyop, I guarantee you. The Mahdi has a YouTube channel. I'm telling you, man. Anything you think of, you'll find it on the internet. Can you discuss the
The Mahdi has a YouTube channel. To my understanding of the prophecies of this mystical figure who will come towards the end of time, and in some narrations will liberate the Holy Land and bring peace to the earth, and even Jesus Christ will acknowledge this guy and pray with him in some of the narrations. Peace and blessings be upon the beloved Jesus Christ. The only one coming to save the world is Jesus Christ. That's a Muslim saying it. The Mahdi, supposedly, if these narrations are authentic, is someone who comes towards the end of time who doesn't even know that they're the Mahdi. They don't even know that they are the leader. They're supposed to be this righteous leader that the people elect. I promise you he's not going to be speaking amazing English and a YouTube channel, and he's not going to be in there using the name of Muhammad and Jesus in a room full of women that are uncovered, and most of them Caucasian. This is beyond psyop. If anything, this guy is one of the false dajjals that comes. Little dajjals. Dajjal is the word for antichrist. Smaller people who try to lead others astray. This guy is slick with his tongue. And if I had to guess, he was either A, compromised, or something happened to this dude. Because a lot of his work in the early 2000s was pretty good. So, I enjoyed his documentary, The Arrivals, I'm not going to lie. And there was a lot of nuggets in there. You can't even find it. It was taken down everywhere. The only place you can watch that documentary is if you go to Rumble, okay? If you want to see this guy's work when he was just a teen, basically an early adult, you type in The Arrivals, and if you go here, you can click on this link up here, and you'll see the documentary is poorly put together for its time, but there was a lot of very interesting and I found to be very informative information. That's about the only good this guy's probably ever done in his entire life. Now, what happened to his buddy Noriega, that's another question. I thought these guys were gone, but I wonder if Noriega is out there. If anyone has information on him, drop it. So, on to other news. The Kristi Noem says travelers without real ID will still be able to fly after the deadline. The reason for that, they want us to all have a real ID for more control, government control. And because they're so backlogged that we can't get it, to not let people fly without one would basically cease half of travel. Everything's in chaos. Largest fentanyl bust in DEA history. Authorities seize over 400 kilograms of fentanyl in record-shattering operation. Federal authorities have arrested 16 individuals and seized record-breaking quantities of fentanyl, cash, firearms, and vehicles across multiple states. This historic drug seizure led by the DEA is a significant blow against the Sinaloa cartel that removes poison from our streets and protects American citizens from the scourge of fentanyl. As a part of this operation, law enforcement coordinated search warrants across 5 states. Approximately $610,000 in currency, 49 firearms, 396 kilograms, 11.5 kilograms of powder, 1.5 kilograms of coke, 3.5 kilograms of heroin, 7 pounds of methamphetamine, a Ford Rapture and GMC Denali, 2 vehicles valued at approximately $140,000. It's a lot of money in that bag. Trump offers migrants $1,000 if they leave the country voluntarily. Good luck with that one. Today, I was actually driving by in North Bergen, New Jersey, and I saw 2 ICE agents knocking on someone's door, probably searching for migrants. Gaza will be entirely destroyed, Israeli minister says, TheGuardian.com reports. Bezalel Smotrich says Palestinians will leave in great numbers to third countries, raising fears of ethnic cleansing. Well, that's what we said since October 7th. I said this. Go play all the podcasts. I said if they ethnic cleanse these people, then you know that was their intention from the get-go. They never wanted to do what's fair to the civilians there. It wasn't just about removing Hamas, and I think we can all see that now. As aid embargo on Strip enters third month, hunger is stalking Gazans. This is reported by the Times of Israel. After a ceasefire shrink, malnutrition figures, stores of assistance are now dwindling, and food for sale, which may come from Hamas stolen hoards, is priced exorbitantly. More than 60 days have passed since Israel imposed a full ban on the entry of humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip, including food, water, and medical supplies. This is reported by the Times of Israel. If you think that this makes you look good and humane, and that you're the civilized ones, that you're starving an entire population that has men, women, and children, that half of the population are children, you have lost your moral compass completely. You are showing the world that you are not civilized, but you do not have any, because even if you're stronger and you have more power, even if someone does you wrong and you're supposed to be the chosen people of God, you would show mercy and love. But we're not seeing any mercy from their side at all. And it's not to be anti this or anti that. There's a lot of children there, man. There's a lot of men, women, and children. Okay? So it's just crazy that they would literally starve these people to death. It's wrong. It's a crime against humanity. Would have never expected this from them. Now, after all the World War II movies I had to watch, and I watched, I would have never expected this from you. I would expect you to be better than them and to be an example of merciful, right? You're better than them, right? I guess not. Ukrainian drones attack Moscow, temporarily halting flights ahead of major military parade. Okay, that thing is still going on. Sean Diddy gets into court today, and he has 9 words to say. I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm a little nervous today. So he made a rare statement. No one's heard a word from him in months. Some A-list actors and rappers' names were dropped in court when prospective jurors were read a list of names and asked whether they recognized them or not. I wonder who's on that list. Stars mentioned included actors Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, rappers Kid Cudi, and Kanye West. However, none of them is accused of criminal wrongdoing in connection with the high-profile case. Why were they mentioned? Potential jurors who are being questioned by the judge during jury selection were read a list of names to determine whether they knew any of them. That list included the celebrities. However, according to Variety, Kid Cudi may be on the list because prosecutors believe the rapper was the victim of a car bombing that they accused Combs of committing in 2011. The publication reported that Kid Cudi was dating Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, who was the trial star witness. Jordan is not a witness, but could feature in the trial because Combs is accused of being upset that Ventura went on a date with him in 2015. So, things are heating up in the Diddy world. Also, Kanye West just did an interview with Piers Morgan that he walked out of. He also was on set with Sneeko, who I've had the privilege of speaking to a few times on FaceTime. The last time I spoke to him was with Sonny during the month of Ramadan, when he found out that he had Jewish origins and blood. So, can he be anti-Semitic if he himself is Semitic? I ask you. I don't know. Let's see if we can pull that up. So, yeah. So, here's some footage of him.
Hi, so I want this album to go up. I don't want it to be under the name
Is that Nick Fuentes?
I want it to go under the name Donda. So that
It looks like Nick Fuentes. It's Sneeko.
I see.
I guess this is before or after the interview.
They're not wrong. Okay, I'll take it out and I'll resend it.
North Dakota is now the 11th U.S. state with a measles outbreak. Looks like that's expanding nationwide. Probably will mutate in the future. Maybe shut everything down again. There's a lot of moving pieces right now in the world. There's a lot of problems out there. I hope you're paying attention. Europe has a warning over a killer fungus which could infect millions as it spreads across Europe. A killer fungus is set to spread through new parts of Europe due to rising temperatures. Aspergillus, a type of mold which could cause lung and breathing problems if it infects a human, may infect millions of people a year. as it spreads to more northerly countries in Europe, Asia, and America due to rising temperatures. The fungus thrives in humans because it can survive in warm temperatures. Asparagus can have positive benefits and is used in industrial and food production, including the fermentation of soy sauce and sake. Inhaling its spores does not make everyone ill, but the deadly fungus can be particularly threatening to those whose conditions such as asthma, cystic fibrosis, or weakened immune system. But fungal research shows Aspergillus fumigatus could spread across an additional 77% of territory by the year 2100. I won't be here by then. There was some terrorist suspected of planning to kill fans at a Lady Gaga concert, and they were ID'd as immigrants that recently were kicked out of the U.S. Thank God they were kicked out of the U.S. I mean, think about that. These people were here. Trump came in power. They're not here, and they were planning something horrible like this in Brazil. What else do you want to know? That's why we need to know who's coming in, who they are, check their backgrounds. If we go over to X right now, we can see that Elon posted a video from Secretary Kennedy, discussing what happened with Fauci.
As you pointed out, gain-of-function study is the kind of science that is designed to make microbes and pathogens more virulent, more transmissible, and more deadly. It was in this country, they started doing it in 1947, the military and the intelligence agencies, in order to develop bioweapons. In 1969, President Nixon banned it all, shut down Fort Detrick, shut down all the labs. That ban, and then signed the Bioweapons Convention. That ban lasted till 2001. And after the anthrax attacks, Anthony Fauci essentially restarted the arms race and the bioweapons arms race, and did it under the pretension of developing vaccines, because of the same science that you develop bioweapons and vaccines. In 2014, 3 of his bugs escaped, and 300 scientists wrote letters to President Obama asking him to shut down Anthony Fauci. President Obama declared a moratorium, but instead of shutting down his experiments, he moved them offshore, mainly to the Wuhan lab. And now, the principal institutions of our government, the CIA, the FBI, the State Department, Department of Energy, all say that it is most likely that those experiments resulted in the COVID-19 pandemic beginning in 2019. So President Trump today moved to shut down this kind of research in this country and to stop funding it abroad.
What else you want to know? Your family most likely lost their lives, their businesses, their marriages, their sanity because of these weapons that were being developed offshore. This is the secretary, okay? He's a secretary in the U.S. government saying this on national television. Your family deserves justice. Not just Fauci, everyone that was involved, especially those in the cover-up of what really happened when the world closed down. In any event, I know it's been a while. I know some of you are wondering what the hell have I been up to. I've launched a vlog channel. There's 3 episodes up already. I've been making appearances. I was just on the Ross Mandel podcast. I think he could use a little boost there. If we type in Ross Mandel and Beck Lover, you can check out that episode. It's called The Real Reason Beck Lover Spoke on Going Public. So let's play.
And one of the things that I find, I'm 68 years old, and because I'm a stock market guy, I'm a news junkie since the day I started in this business, which is my whole life, because everything and anything in the news is used to alter fortune, if you know what I'm saying, to maneuver markets, etc. And it's what's been really interesting for me, especially since I'm podcasting now, because now I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to so many people. I go out, I'm wrecking all these different things. It's like most guys your age are a little bit indoctrinated. You don't really get it. You don't really, because maybe you're Albanian, because you've witnessed your family and the persecution and the nonsense and the bullshit and the fake narratives and agendas. You're really well versed in your history. So that allows you to see the bigger picture of, now you question everything, right? If they just don't get the facts straight on anything that you know for sure, that you have to start questioning everything that these people are telling us. And as an older guy, who's been, really following news. It's astounding to me how many guys your age, I mean, smart guys. I mean, guys that are millionaires, guys that are successful, guys that are with it. If you met them, they're hip, everything else, conversational. They're put together well, but they really have no fucking clue because they have been just maneuvered in such a way, and it's crazy. And that's what I think one of the great things about what you do. This podcasting is like a generational thing. It's like you're delivering. Like if you would be so flattered if you knew what my team said about you to me. Because they watched you, they said, this guy's fucking real. He's straight. You could talk to this guy. You could chop it up. I mean, this is, some people don't want to talk about this. The intro takes, I got 10 minutes of coaching, what not to do, what not to say, stay away from here, stay away from there, etc. And I love that you're open to it. And, I've seen you talk about your faith, and I just love that as well. Because, it's,
ignorance is the problem, brother. Like
with everything.
It's the true enemy. I think you can agree because, you have more wisdom than I do. It really is. It's from that ignorance we have hatred and, racism and all these things where, and it's just, to me, it doesn't need to be this way, man. The hardest thing I had to learn going through that trauma of losing 28 family members.
It's crazy.
People I played with every summer, my cousin, his village, Albanians are close, like my cousin, their cousin, so we have very big families. And, my aunt's husband, I was extremely close to him. So losing him was, I remember exactly the moment where I was when I got the phone call. I was in the Hotel Alcott in Cape May, New Jersey. It was summer, and I get a phone call, and my mom's like, Dean's dead. I'm like, what do you mean, Dean? They're like, so I have been through many traumatic things in my life, and I'm trying to be a beacon of hope where, first of all, there's no reason why Christians, Muslims, and Jews should be killing each other.
No reason.
All three religions believe in Moses. All three religions believe in the Ten Commandments. Period.
Well, we believe in one God. We believe in one God.
Yeah.
We just call them different. We got different names for them.
But not even.
You know what I'm saying?
Even.
It's just like it's
because if you break it down into Hebrew and Arabic and Aramaic,
correct.
they're all cousin languages.
All the same. It comes from the same.
So my first video that went viral was about look at how ignorant you are. Like, remember, now I was underneath the World Trade when it got hit. I was in the E train. I was going to Pace University. It was an excellent conversation for those of you that love to follow my work. Ross is a very interesting individual. He made hundreds of millions of dollars. He went to jail for something that technically it wasn't even illegal, something that he did in the UK. This guy was a wizard of Wall Street, okay? So for someone as educated and as successful as he was to compliment me and say that I'm someone that has some type of knowledge, I really took it as a compliment. I do believe that he found an angle. I don't think that what he did was illegal, but I feel like the powers that be were pissed that this guy figured a loophole in the financial system and he exploited it. So he ended up doing time for it. They threw him in jail. Check out the podcast. I'm probably going to have him on as a guest because I do want to dig into his life. I find it to be interesting. Pretty soon I'll be relaunching the Comeback Team where I interview people like him and people all over the world that have been through our worst nightmares and how they got through it. It's what started me in the podcast world. The Beck Lover Podcast is where I talk about events, everything that's going on, the news, gossip, stuff like that. And then you have Beck Vlogger, which is now up, and I hope that you'll go on and follow the channel because you're going to love it. It's a more casual, more fun way for you to experience my content. I travel all over the world. I have all types of interesting people appearing in the vlog, from influencers to celebrities to Chris Hansen. This is the website, on YouTube. Beck Vlogger. 3 episodes are up. And I really hope you guys will go and check them out.
The danger that laid on the other side of those screens.
And that's me with Chris Hansen. In any event, I'm sorry I haven't been as active on the news podcast. I will be. I'm also updating some equipment. I'm going to be able to do this on the road. I am traveling to Vegas and LA. I'm going to try to see if there's a way I can keep the show running while I'm on the road. In any event, it's been my pleasure, my honor, and I thank all of you for the massive growth that we're having here at the Beck Lover Podcast. Peace, blessings. Pray for this war to end in the Middle East, in Pakistan, in Sudan, and in the Ukraine. Till the next time, I'll see you. It's your boy, Beck Lover. Wrong song. Life sure is not easy. It'll take you down if you let it. Life can be very difficult. I know some of you fall into dark times. I've been there myself, and I'm here to tell you that it won't be forever. No matter how bad it is, no matter how hopeless it may seem, as long as you keep going on, not giving up, things can change and they will change. I promise you, I'm proof of it. Okay, I had many dark years, not days, years, and I'm begging you to not give up. And if you're not feeling good, please seek professional help. Please call the national hotline. Please tell your friends and family. And if you don't have any friends and family, then reach out to your community support systems. I know it's hard out there, and I don't want you to give up because you can't. This is your boy, Beck Lover, and I'll see you next time on the Beck Lover Podcast.